University of South Wales. Okay, it is in fact the largest university in Wales, and it is one of the largest in UK. Okay, so one of the largest university in UK, yes, 3,500 staff and 33,000 students. And the program there is actually comparable to the program that's delivered here. So for example, if you relocate to UK, you can actually transfer your credits. Okay, credits are equivalent both in the DS Academy in Singapore as well as the one in UK also. Okay, this is just our governing bodies for both DAS Academy as well as in UK. So the DAS Academy is governed by the CPE, the Committee for Private Education in Singapore, and is also governed by the QAA, okay, the Quality Assurance Agency in UK. So this ensures that we always, have the highest standards in quality and deliverance of the program. Okay, so although USW provides the professional SEN framework, the DAS Academy has enhanced the program to make it more relevant to local practitioners. So we actually bring in the local context. We follow the local SEN landscape as well. Okay, but at the same time, we still have to adhere to the stringent criteria by the USW in terms of the content, in terms of the structure that is being provided for the students. So who can benefit from the MA? So you may ask why should I take the MA? So if you're already an existing practitioner, okay, the MASCN enables practitioners working with people with special education needs or those in the education related field to develop themselves professionally and distinguish themselves in the growing field of special needs. For parents, okay, it's to provide you again with a wealth of knowledge, further your perspective, okay, to beyond dyslexia and recognize the other co-occurring difficulties that may come playing together with dyslexia as well. Okay, and you're constantly going to reflect on your practice and reflect on the knowledge that you have with the MA. These are some of our past students, include nurses from the pediatric developmental wards. Okay, we had nurses. We also had early childhood teachers, again, parents of children with SEN. We've also had mainstream and special education teachers, as well as allied educators as well. So I mentioned briefly, what does the MASEN do for you? So if you look at the staircase, it signifies your growth, okay, be it as a practitioner or a parent. Okay, you're growing your knowledge, okay, you're increasing your wealth of pedagogy. Whereas the mirror signifies a framework, okay, a framework for reflection where you can examine your own practices. So you may already have some strategies, you already have some practices that you do with your students, your children. So you can examine those strategies, those practices against theory and research evidences. And of course, it helps you to progress from a consumer of research. So just take in, okay, this is evidence-based, so I'm going to use it. Okay, I'm going to use it with my child, with my student. So it helps you to progress from that to an active researcher. So you may think, oh, I'm thinking about this strategy that I want to use, or I have this thought that I want to address. So you can actually conduct research on that and find out how significant your findings are and whether the strategy or the knowledge that you have could be applied to other students or to apply in the field as well. Okay, so how will the program look like? Okay, so typically there are about 4 to 5 modules, depending on which pathway you take. Okay, so each taught module consists of 30 lecture hours, 30 contact hours, and it's delivered on a block delivery basis. So when I say block delivery, it means that it's 1 whole week, Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 4:30. And all our MA modules, okay, are delivered during the school holidays. So March school holidays, September school holidays, the first week of the June school holidays, the first week of the November school holidays. Okay, so the modules in the MASEN are co-delivered by lecturers from the USW as well as the DAS Academy. Okay, so they used to fly down, okay, but now they conduct their lectures via Zoom as they can't fly down at the moment. Okay, You will have access to all the university's journal articles, the library. We have physical library at the DES Academy. Okay, all your resources will be provided online via the Blackboard. And all the modules, okay, comes with a formal assessment. Okay, most of the modules come with an essay assignment, which is due 12 weeks after the start of the module. Okay, so these are the different modules. Okay, so the two pathways, okay, you can either take 4 modules with 1 dissertation, which is the 60 credit dissertation. So if you choose to do the full 60 credit dissertation where you actually have to conduct the research, okay, you will only need to take 4 taught modules, including the research methods, because you need the research methods to do a dissertation. Okay, the other pathway is where you do 5 modules, but you only do a 30 credit dissertation. So the 30 credit dissertation is also called a desktop dissertation, where you plan out research, but you don't have to conduct the research. So that's the difference between a 30 credit as well as a 60 credit dissertation. Okay, but if you're going to move on to the dissertation, you definitely still have to do the research method. So in a sense, if you're doing the 30 credit, you have to do all 5 modules. Whereas if you're doing the 60 credit, you just need to choose 4 modules, including the research methods. Okay, so this is generally how the pathway looks like. So pathway 1, okay, if you're doing only the 30 credit, you have to do all 5 taught modules. Okay, and then pathway 2, if you're doing the 60 credit, you just need to choose 4, including the research method. Okay, that is compulsory for dissertation. Okay, and these are the upcoming dates for the different modules in the MA program. Okay, just to share with you the unique feature of our MA program, okay, there are actually 3 exit points. Okay, so when you want to register for an MA, you don't have to, in a sense, straight away commit to do the MA. Okay, so you can actually register to just do the postgraduate certificate first. So maybe you think, okay, I'm not ready to fully commit, I'm just going to take 2 modules. Okay, and then you can exit with a postgraduate certificate. Okay, and then maybe you tell yourself, oh, I'm not ready to go on to the full MA, and maybe I just want to do 4 modules. Okay, then you can register to do just the postgraduate diploma. But again, the unique thing is that if you feel, okay, let's say you graduated with a postgraduate certificate, right? And then you exit the program. And then like maybe a year later say, hey, oh, maybe I want to continue. I've already done 2. Yeah, I can just take on 2 more modules and just do the postgraduate diploma. You can. So you can exit the program and then you can re-enroll to continue where you stop. Okay, so same for postgraduate diploma. So I've already done 4 top modules. Hey, okay, I might as well just go on to do the full MA, right? Since I just need to do 1 more module and then the dissertation. So you can again, okay, if you've exited with the postgraduate diploma, you can re-enroll, okay, to do the full MA. But at any one time, you only get 1 cert. So if you have exited with the postgraduate and you want to re-enroll, okay, you have to like surrender your postgraduate certificate, but you will get another cert at the end of your course. Let's say if you want to do a postgraduate diploma, then you will get a postgraduate diploma. Okay, so that's the unique feature of our MA program. Allows you to re-enter the program if you feel that you want to continue on with the program. Okay. All right, so let me just briefly go through the different modules. Okay, so this one is the first module, Context and Concepts. This module provides an overview of the SEN landscape in Singapore. So here we bring in experts from various fields to share about the diagnosis and the management of these difficulties. So we have guest speakers for the ASD. We have Sharon from USW will talk about dyspraxia. Okay, and we will have guest speakers for some of the other topics as well. Okay, then we have dyslexia theory and assessment. Okay, this one gives you a brief overview of. Okay, this one gives you a comprehensive overview of dyslexia. Okay, it really does focus on dyslexia, its theories, and the various ways to assess dyslexia. And the assessments that are going to be shared in this module are teacher-friendly assessments. Okay, so you can carry out assessments on people who show signs of literacy difficulties. So you can use it for teaching purposes to guide them, to guide yourself in supporting the students, but not for diagnosis purposes. Okay, and for parents, perhaps this module could help you to understand the various reasons for dyslexia and to appreciate the profile of the child better. Okay, this is a different in the sense that you see is 42 hours. Okay, this is our practical module. Okay, you have lectures to attend, you learn how to deliver planned lessons for students with dyslexia, and then you go on to a 6-month practical with a learner of your choice. Okay, so you need to source for your own learner for this. However, if you have difficulties sourcing for your own learner, you can let us know in advance and we will see what we can do to help you. Okay, so it comes with the 6-month practicum where you actually have to apply those skills learned in the module, okay, into the practicum. And it's the 6-month practicum is more of a 20-hour program. So you have to conduct 21-hour lessons with a learner. Okay, so we added this module because the feedback was that they wanted some practical skills as well. Okay, so this practical module allows you to attain the hands-on skills. So it's again a unique feature of our program. So unlike perhaps other master's programs that are more theoretical, we have enhanced our program to include this practical module. Okay, so the participants want to increase the competency in supporting a child with dyslexia in literacy. So this module is actually tagged to one of our compulsory SpecDip modules, which is a certificate in dyslexia and literacy teaching, the CIDLT. So if you've done it, okay, you've done the CIDLT, you can actually re-enroll, okay, to do the MA and just continue on with the practical. So you don't actually have to sit for the whole lectures all over again. Okay, so it is tagged together with the certificate. Okay, so the next one is the CAMP-HSCBD, Child and Adolescent Mental Health, as well as Social Emotional Behavioral Difficulties. So again, we know that dyslexia leads to social emotional difficulties in children. So it's crucial to talk about and manage the social emotional behavioral difficulties that arise because of the frustrations with themselves and school as well. So here we also bring in guest speakers to talk about like solution-focused therapy, for example. And RM, research methods, where you will learn various ways to conduct research, how to analyze research. So again, this module is necessary if you are doing the dissertation. Okay, so for the desktop dissertation, the 30 credit dissertation is more for those who are keen to take up practical strategies, but they don't want to actually, conduct a study. They just want to plan a study. Okay, so you just need to do one more thought module. The 60 credit might be good for people who want to pursue a study in this area. There's something that they want to find out about, okay, then they can continue to pursue it. Or a practitioner perhaps who wants to do action research. So you just do 4 thought modules and the 60 credit dissertation. Okay, this is our lecturing team. So we have Sharon and Matthew from USW. We have myself, Rebecca. June is our head of DS Academy. Priscilla is our assistant head of DS Academy. Okay, so how can you apply? Okay, you can apply via our DAS Academy website. If you have any questions, you can direct your questions to myself. My email is there. Okay, we also have Nuru, who is logged on today. She can also assist you with any questions that you may have about the MA, any application methods that you may have. Again, the unique feature of our program is that we have an alternative entry route. So usually you need a degree, okay, to enroll for an MA, but for our program, we have this alternative entry route available, where if you don't have a bachelor's degree, but you have relevant experience in the field, okay, you can actually enroll into the MA program with that experience. So we recognize that your past and current work experience is actually valuable. We will also be sharing the slides with you after the preview, so you can actually access the information also after the preview. So if you go onto our website, this is how it looks like. You go onto the MA program and you just click on register now or inquire now if you have any questions. So it actually brings you to this page, okay? So the registration page brings you straight to the masters and you will see the amount there. However, again, if you're registering for the PGC, you just need to apply, but you're only required to pay module by module. So if you're doing the PGC, you just need to pay 2 modules, for example. Okay, so each module, this is the cost. Okay, payment is on a 6-month basis by installment by modules. Okay, so if you're doing the full MA, there will be 6 payments till the completion of your study. And this is for the pathway 2, where you do the 60 credit dissertation. All right. So the application period opens today. Okay, it's 1 month. So if you have any questions, you can put in the chat. You can address your questions after, or if you don't have questions at the moment, you can always drop us a call or an email as well. So to find out more, you can actually go on to our website to find out more. All right, thank you. I'll pass on over to Rebecca now to continue the SPED program.
Okay, thank you, Mariam. Hi, everyone. Good morning to everyone. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen? Can. Okay, great. Just give me a minute. Okay, so I'll take you through the Specialist Diploma in SPLD, all right? The program was actually designed by the DES Academy, okay? And the specialist qualification that gathers theoretical knowledge on specific learning differences and develop practical skills on providing support for learners in the field. Okay, so the Dyslexia Association of Singapore, it comprises of a multidisciplinary team of psychologists, educational therapies, speech and language and occupational therapies. And this course intends to draw on our bank of accumulated knowledge and experiences to provide a consolidated field of knowledge in SPLD. Okay, so brief background of our lecturers. We actually all start off as educational therapies, and the content is actually created based on classroom experiences and while working with parents of these students, as well as academic demand of kids in the mainstream school, the program will actually help both advocates and practitioners to improve practices by linking theory to practice. Okay, so the program offers a platform that promotes interactive and collaborative learning. So when I mention collaborative learning, you will have the opportunity to meet classmates from different backgrounds. It could be parents, it could be teachers, it could be as well tutors as well. So the way we deliver our courses allows you to have discussions and tap on each other's experience and learn from it. Okay, so participants will gain knowledge and understanding, as well as practical and transferable skills for professional practice. So I would say that this course is very much to gain practical knowledge in supporting your learners with SPLD. Okay, so knowledge and understanding about the program, you gain insight into SPLD and the cognitive processes which are involved. You will be able to effectively employ appropriate teaching approach to support these learners based on their learning needs. Okay, so you have an extended teaching knowledge and experience with regard to supporting this learner with mathematic difficulties or a learner with, for instance, speech and language difficulties. Okay, and you also have the opportunity to understand the emotional impact on a learner who has an SPLD. Okay, when I talk about practical and transferable skills, you will be able to actually make critical judgments of the concepts and approaches which are related to supporting these learners. You will be able to evaluate and also rationalize your planning, your teaching, as well as your learning based on the practical teaching experiences which will gain from this course as well. You can use reflective practice to become more self-aware, as well as appraise strengths and weaknesses of personal teaching and learning. Okay, and very importantly, to evaluate the current theories around the nature and causes of SPLD. So it's mainly to put these theories into practice and to support learners in the appropriate way. Okay, so when we talk about this program, the duration of this program is for a year. Okay, modules are to be taken consecutively unless there is intermission of studies. Maximum term to complete maximum candidature period is 3 years. Okay, so when you actually sign up for this program, you need to let us know which modules you would be taking. So it's actually 6 modules, including 1 e-learning module and 1 practicum. Okay, so 6 module plus 1 e-learning module. Okay, so there's total of 7 modules. And these 7 modules, the 2 core modules which are mandatory is the 4 hours of e-learning module together with the 42 hours module. All right, this I will run through each of the module shortly. Okay, and then you have to select 3 elective A modules, which are all 15 hours each, and 1 elective B module, which is 21 hours. Okay, and then once you have completed all these modules, you will actually do your practicum. You have to conduct a teaching practicum for about 10 to 12 weeks. So that will be your final module. It's actually SPLD in practice, where you demonstrate how you could apply your theoretical knowledge, your strategies, by providing support for a learner for a period of 10 to 12 weeks. Okay. So the first module, when I mentioned about the e-learning module, it's a 4 hours module. It's totally done online. Okay, it provides theoretical knowledge about dyslexia and its co-occurring difficulties that serves as a foundation for practitioners. So it's the very basic thing that you need to know even before you provide support to the learners. So the theory part. Okay, and this content actually includes what is dyslexia, other SPLDs, the teaching principles and approaches in supporting these learners. Okay, it is accessible at SUSS UniLearn for 1 month. So registration is always the beginning of the month. You have 1 whole month to complete that module. Okay, so the assessment is an online quiz followed by it. So it's an e-learning, it's a self-led learning. So you have to do the module on your own and complete the quiz online to get this certificate. Okay. Now, the second module, the second core module is a 42 hours module. This aims to introduce participants to dyslexia and the principles behind effective teaching approach. Okay, it's quite a content-heavy module. The content actually includes understanding the structure of the English language, the phonics knowledge and application, the oral support that you can give your learners, the reading fluency, conceptual teaching and planning, as well as lesson planning and delivery. So the assessment, there are 3 different assessments. You will have a written assessment, oral test, as well as lesson observation. Okay, lesson planning. Okay, from elective A modules are 15 hours, as I mentioned. So each of it is 15 hours. You are required to choose any 3 of this module. Okay, we have educational psychology, understanding speech, language, and communication needs. We also have supporting SPLD learners in mathematics, all right, dyslexia and Chinese language support. We have also supporting SPLD learners in English language exam skills, which is targeted more for support for students in primary 6 level. Okay, IEP planning for SPLD learners, so individualized education plan, teaching morphology to SPLD learners, as well as FEHE, which is further education, higher education, for older learners, to support older learners with learning difficulties, and supporting SPLD learners in executive function skills. Okay, so do take note that all these certs, right, you could actually do it as a standalone cert course. And when I mentioned standalone cert course, you could do it just as a cert first, and then eventually convert these certs into a specialist diploma. Okay, so I will share with you a little more about it later, but just take note that these are the elective A modules. The elective B modules, it's a 21-hour course. So when we have advanced English literacy skills, we also have advanced Chinese literacy skills. We have at-risk preschoolers in literacy, as well as higher order mathematical skills. Okay, so the suggested pathway would be to do the elective A modules first before you move on to elective B module. Okay, so that there's a good progress. You get the fundamentals. So for example, you do the mathematics module first, supporting SPLD learners in mathematics before you move on to the higher order mathematical skills. Okay, so and then once you have completed all these modules, you will be asked to do the teaching practicum. That's the final module to get before you get your specialist diploma. This module actually promotes independent study and will guide you to produce a project that consists of 10 lesson plans focusing on higher order skills beyond phonics-based instruction. So you should be supporting your learners for over 10 lessons, and you should be focusing on higher order skills which is beyond phonics-based. So when I say higher order skills, it could be maybe in skills in mathematics, it could be in literacy skills, higher order literacy skills, and it's a reflective practice and looking at intervention using the SMART targets, and the modules usually it's mainly to see how you actually apply all these strategies that you have learned from all these cert courses into practice. How do you then apply it with your learner? Okay, and this module starts, there are 4 intakes. It starts in March, then we have a June intake, then we have a September intake and a December intake. Okay, so it's over about 15 weeks. So if let's say you start in March, your submission of the practicum would be end of June. Okay, then if you start in June, your submission will be end of September, and so on. Okay. Do also take note that this module, even though it's on your own, you will be assigned a supervisor. One of the lecturer will be assigned to you for consultation, and what you could do is you have actually 5 hours of consultation time with the supervisor. Okay. So a modular cert and transcript will be issued after successful completion of each module, except for this practical module. Okay, once you have completed all the certificate courses as well as the practical module, what will happen is you will graduate with specialist diploma in learning support for SPL for specific learning differences. And this will be issued during the DES Academy graduation day. Okay, so for this year, usually our graduation ceremony is in September, and this year it's on 15th of September. Okay, so these are suggested pathways for various educators. In case you're wondering which modules you should be taking, so we have actually given a suggested pathway for the various educators. So if let's say you're an English language educator, this will be the suggested pathway. To the compulsory module is for all pathways. And then the 3 elective A modules that you could actually choose is teaching morphology, supporting SPLD learners in English exam skills, and IEP plan. So you could either choose IEP planning, individualized education plan, educational psychology, or executive function skills. So you will realize that IEP planning, educational psychology, and executive function skills, these will be the suggested modules for all the various pathways. Okay, because these are modules that could be actually applied to any subject. Okay, these are the fundamentals that you might need as well. Okay, and the elective B module for English language educators would be the advanced English literacy skills. Okay, and then of course everyone has to complete it with the practical module. So the compulsory module and the practical module is constant, and the one that you could actually that we are suggesting is between the 3 elective A modules and the 1 elective B module. Okay, so for Chinese language educators, you could choose speech, language, and communication needs as one of your elective A module, dyslexia and Chinese language support, as well as either one of the modules listed. Okay, and then 1 elective B module would be the supporting SPLD learners in advanced Chinese literacy skills. Okay, for math educators, one of the 3 elective A module would be certificate in supporting SPLD learners in mathematics, and the elective B module would be supporting SPLD learners in higher order mathematical skills. Okay, and then for preschool educators, one of it would be to do understanding speech, language, and communication needs, and then the elective B would be supporting at-risk preschoolers in literacy. Okay, if you are a specialist tutor and you are supporting older learners, okay, perhaps in tertiary education or older learners, you might want to actually do the supporting SPLD learners in FEHE, teaching morphology to SPLD learners, these 2 modules as your elective A. And elective B could be supporting SPLD learners in advanced English literacy skills. Okay, and then if let's say all-rounder educator, you are you would like to have a feel of all the various the topics, Then perhaps you could actually do certificate in supporting SPLD learners in mathematics. You could also do the dyslexia and Chinese language support and either one of these modules. And then the elective B could be supporting at-risk preschoolers in literacy. So you are able to actually touch on all the various topics. Okay, so these are suggested pathway. However, this is not a concrete. So what you could do is you could actually choose your own elective modules based on what's your need. Okay. Now, the entry criteria to do the specialist diploma is 5 GCE O-level passes or equivalent, O-level passes in English language or equivalent, and minimum age is 18 years old. Now, upon successful enrollment onto this program, you will be given entry into DES Academy Library to borrow reading resources. Okay. Similarly, if you would like to find out more about our courses, the synopsis, what each of the certificate covers, the learning outcomes, if you want to find out more details, go on to our website, click on Programs tab, and you can actually click on Specialist Diploma in SPLD. Okay. Now, so let's say I mentioned earlier that you could actually do the certificate courses, standalone certificate. So let's say you are not ready to commit yourself to the specialist diploma yet, but rather you would want to try out the certificate courses first. You may do so. So you can register as just the certificate course, so the respective certs, and then you can actually convert it to specialist diploma. What happens is you need to apply for APL, accreditation of prior learning. So if you have previously undertaken any of the modules, so let's say you have already started on some of the cert courses, for instance, and you would now wish to convert it to specialist diploma, the cert courses should be within the last 3 years. So because the maximum candidature period for Spec Deep is 3 years, the cert courses that you take should be within the 3 years. And of course, you can be exempted from these modules when you apply for the specialist diploma via APL. Okay. Now, in order for you to qualify for APL, qualifications submitted must have been attained within the last 3 years. So I need to emphasize on these, including the assessments where applicable. And it's also important, okay, because when you do the certificate course as a standalone course, you could actually have a choice to whether to do the assignment or not to do the assignment. But if you wish to convert your cert course into a specialist diploma in future, you have to complete the assessment. So that's one of the requirements that you need to take note of. The difference is, if let's say you don't do the assignment, you will be awarded with certificate of attendance. Whereas if you complete the assignment, you will be awarded with certificate of achievement. Okay, and definitely in terms of fees, it's slightly more expensive as compared to signing up for the specialist diploma from the start and then doing the modules, as compared to doing the cert courses first and then converting it to a specialist diploma. So there's definitely a price difference. The specialist diploma is will be slightly lower cost as compared to doing it as a standalone cert course and then converting it. Okay, so this is the program fee. Okay, I've given you two fees over here. 5,750 is the current fee, which is applicable up till 31st of March. So if you wish to do your specialist diploma, you may do so to sign up before 31st of March to get this amount, which is 5,750, because the new fee will take effect from 1st of April. So if let's say you sign up in April, you will be the new fee will apply. Okay, and there's an application fee of $32.10. And if let's say, as I said, if let's say you are applying for APL, then there's an APL fee of $53.50. That's for converting. Okay. Now, so these are the contact details. All right, I'm the program leader for specialist diploma. So you can email me if you have any queries, and my admin support, Nurul as well as Suryati. Okay, so thank you very much. Now let me stop share first. Okay, so we will open up Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can check with us.
Hi. Sorry, just now there was a question in the chat. Patricia, you asked whether whether you can use your own child for the practicum. So for both the Spec Deep practicum as well as the MA, the Working Dyslexia practicum, you can use your own child. And the child does not have to have a diagnosis. So that means as long as the child shows signs and symptoms of literacy difficulties, or if you're doing the SPECLIT practicum, if the child shows difficulties with math, you can actually use the child. So the child does not have to have a diagnosis for the practicum. I think you also had another question, what are the type of support that's given to those in secondary school? At the moment, perhaps the AEDs, because they don't have the SDR programs in secondary schools. So the support that's given are really the AEDs. And if the teachers are trained, then they can provide that remediation support in schools.
You can write in your questions in the chat as well if you have any questions.
Sorry, I just have a question to ask with regards to the diploma. Because I checked the website, there is a choice between full-time and part-time. So I'd like to clarify, is there such an option? Is there a diff?
Full-time and part-time.
I'm not sure if I've seen wrongly.
Okay, actually, when we applied for the specialist diploma under the Committee for Private Education, we applied in both full-time and part-time because of the different modules run dates and timing. Because each module we have at least 2 runs in a year. Then usually one is block delivery, one is weekly. Because of this uniqueness, we were required to actually apply both as full-time and part-time. But technically, it's actually a part-time course lah.
Oh, okay. So the timing of the lessons, right? Because it's, I would assume that most of the module currently is done via Zoom or they are face-to-face.
So currently our modules are offered dual mode. So you could choose to do it online or you could come down face-to-face. So we are offering dual mode.
But usually these lessons, right, I would assume is in the evening or
so
I
the
mean, as in the
education
timing.
Okay, the timing, currently the only course that's in the evening is the educational psychology course, which is from 6:30 to 9:30 on a weekday. It's usually on a Wednesday evening. The rest of the courses are in the daytime.
Most of the courses are in the daytime.
Yes, correct. Most of the courses. So it's between 9:30 to 4:30, depending on the course. We also have so for each of the course, right, we have 2 runs. And one is the weekly run and the other one is a block run. So that means block run is back to back over a week. And the weekly run is it runs every week.
So usually the block run would be during it's a week, right? So if let's say you're working and sorry, I'm just trying to understand how would this work if I'm working.
Okay, the schedule is already up on the website for most of the cert courses. So what you could do is you can take a look at the schedule and then you can work around your own schedule as well.
I see.
Because like for example, like the dyslexia and literacy teaching, that is the 42 hours course, is the longest one. So it's like the weekly delivery, we have the Saturday runs lah. So it will be running on full day on a Saturday. So if not, it's the block delivery, which is Monday to Friday and the following Monday. So I think that's the one module or course that might require you to apply for leave if you're applying for the weekly run. Yeah, but other modules because it's much shorter, then maybe like it's a half day course in the mornings or on a weekday, perhaps that will help you to plan your schedule better lah. So you can take a look at the schedules on the website.
We do have a couple of courses on Saturdays as well. I think we have both runs, the weekly as well as the block, is to cater to different needs of participants. So some prefer being stretched it out in a week, being stretched out over weeks. So they just take half day leave or something, whereas you just want to complete it there and then, like get it over and done with quickly. So we have the block runs as well.
Okay, because if I'm a mainstream educator, it'd be very difficult for me to take leave.
Yes, that I understand. So you can look at the Saturday courses and see if those applicable. We do have the education psychology course. That's the only one that runs during weekday evenings.
Actually, I'm very interested in the morphology, the teaching morphology. But the one that I when I went to your website, there isn't any confirmed date given yet, but it's just saying October. Would you all know about the
October? Hang on,
because I see that for the morphology, if I'm not mistaken, it's written the intake is in October, but there isn't any
Okay,
constraint.
yeah, okay, because you have to click that particular course, and then you click register now. It will bring you to the page where there is the date, and then there is also the schedule details lah.
Oh, I see, I
Yeah,
see.
correct.
Let me
Okay.
share my screen over here.
Can.
Okay, over here. Then it shows here the schedule details. So 16 October, 23rd October, and 30th October.
I see, I see.
Yes, so you need to go and click on register now, and then you can see the schedule. So the dates are all there.
But these are not, will this be like confirmed, or it depends on the number of participants that are registering? If that, like, if I'm not mistaken, I saw that if the number of participant is not enough, the course won't go on, right?
Correct.
Generally,
So, okay.
most courses will be confirmed. Yeah. Generally, most courses are confirmed.
Oh, most are confirmed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We very rarely cancel any course.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yes.
Okay.
That one is a Saturday, so actually it is quite suitable for you as well. The 16th October.
Yes. Okay.
It's a
Thank
Saturday.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I also see a question from Li Ping. Hang on. Okay, so she said that she's already trained, she's a trained educator with a degree and postgraduate diploma. So would we still recommend the Spec Deep or the Masters would be more appropriate? So the difference between both the courses, right? So the Masters is more of the theoretical knowledge and to gain an in-depth understanding of the theories behind the various SPLD. Whereas the Spec Deep, it's mainly to gain the practical knowledge to support your learners in that aspect. So it really depends on which route are you looking at and what is your intention to do this course. Li Ping, did I answer your question?
No, she's no longer logged in.
Oh, she's no longer logged in. Okay, can.
Oh, she is. I can't see her on my screen though.
Oh.
She's here.
Okay.
Okay, I can't see her on my screen too. Oh no, okay. All right, so Patricia has a question as well. Okay, so which program would you recommend to take to better support son at secondary school? So if let's say you are looking at supporting a learner, especially when they are in primary and secondary level, I think the specialist diploma would be a better course to take because we are sharing a lot of practical strategies and a little bit of theory as well. So that would be more appropriate if you are looking at supporting your child at secondary level. Okay, then perhaps after that, if you're interested to find out a little more and more of the theories behind each of the SPLD, then you can actually move on to the MA course. Okay, I also realized that Kavita, you mentioned that you lost connection and couldn't hear the responses on what the course will be conducted and the timing. Kavita, I will share the screen again. Okay, so you can actually go on to our website. All our cert courses are here. You can actually you can click on the programs, and then you can click on cert courses first. Okay, to look at the respective cert courses, the modules, and then you can actually read the synopsis on what the module, the learning outcomes, as well as what's covered in the module, and then you click on register now, so that the dates are all there. So the course run dates are there. So when you click on the schedule, the course run dates, the start time, the end time are all indicated there. Did I address your question? Okay, great. All right, so I think next question is by Betty. What is morphology? All right, I think, okay, so morphology is actually understanding the word origin, the word parts. So this is where we will explore more on the various word parts, the prefixes, suffixes, the root words, and how to actually teach students. This course actually aims to help students to, it really helps students to, with their spelling, as well as vocabulary. So if you are looking at supporting older learners, and if let's say they are already good with their, already quite good with their reading and spelling above average, for instance, then you can actually support these learners in developing their morphological awareness. So where you teach them the word parts, the meaning of these word parts, so that they could actually use it for their spelling as well as to develop their vocabulary skills.
Yeah, so it goes beyond like phonics. Like for example, if I have the word international, right? So if the child is still at the phonics level, you go sound by sound. Int, and then you have to put so many sounds together. But morphology is looking at the different word parts like inter, then nation, and then So you're not only learning how to put the word parts together, but you're also putting the meanings of the different word parts together so that it makes more sense for the child.
Correct.
There's another question from Stephanie. Upon graduating with SpecDip, will there be an opportunity to enter or teach in the education sector? Oh, we get this question a lot. Rebecca, you want to answer this question?
Sorry?
Do you want to answer this question?
Okay, about whether you could, okay, so yeah, we do encounter this question a lot. I think the important thing is over here is like, if let's say you are an educator, then if you are doing this, if let's say you are doing this course, then perhaps it's more for your professional development. So it depends on whether it's going to help you in terms of moving up your career. Whether you can use this in order for you to enter an education field, that depends on the employer and whether they are able. This is a cert that they would actually, it's a cert that they're actually looking at. So I think it's very similar to all other certs as well. It's a qualification that you already have, and you know that it's a very a qualification in a specific field. It will definitely be definitely a credential in that sense in your resume, definitely, especially if you're trying to enter a field in the special needs field. Okay, so I think there's another question. Okay.
We have had past participants who, upon graduating the SpecDip, they do enter the education sector. So they work with like international schools, they work with special education schools to support the learners with SEN.
And we also have quite a number of AEDs who have actually joined us to do this specialist diploma for their own professional development as well.
I'm sorry, just like to ask a question, because I saw in the chat group about the skills future credit, because I think Miriam replied that we can't use that for the diploma, but can we use skills future if we were to take just the workshop? I mean, as in just a cert.
Okay, so we are currently working on the Skills Future Credit with the relevant agency. So Skills Future Credit is currently not in use for any of our courses. So be it certificate course or even specialist diploma. But it's actually work in progress. We are actually working with the relevant agency. So do look up for the updates on the website, and we really hope that we will be able to provide these soon.
And thank you.
Okay, no problem.
There's another question by Patricia that is a cert recognized by MOE. MOE does send their allied educators, their teachers to us. So even though it's not, officially stated that it's recognized by MOE, but the fact that they come to us for certificate courses, for customized trainings, I would say that MOE does acknowledge the certificates from the DS Academy.
Sorry, just another question. Yes. Do you conduct courses in schools?
Yes, we do.
That means
we do.
There is a possibility of liaising with you to conduct
trainings
courses to teachers in mainstream school.
Yes, we do that. So you can actually find more information on our website under professional development. So we showcase the different customized trainings that we have conducted in schools before.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Don't worry if you're not able to think of a question at the moment. I'm sure as you explore the website, look at the slides further, you may have more questions. So we'll send the slides. We will have also actually recorded the preview. So we'll also be sending the video over to you, perhaps within 3 working days. So you can actually take a look at those. And if you have any more questions, just drop us an email or a call.
Okay. So if there's no questions, then we can end it here. Have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
We hope to see you at our courses. Thank
Yes.
you.
See you.